This marriage law could change your entire life. Don't underestimate where you sign your contract.
Hello to all my friends, lawyers and non-lawyers. I am Fatima, and this is my channel Ghaemifa, where the law is taught to you in a practical way so that you are always protected by the law. So stay with us until the end of the videos, because even one sentence may save you in the future, or your ignorance may end up harming you.
Imagine this. You've been married for years, thinking you have everything figured out. But suddenly, you're hit with the truth. Sarah, 35, married for 10 years, discovered that everything she thought she knew about her marriage was a lie. Her financial rights, gone. Everything she thought was hers, legally belonged to her husband. It wasn't until she sat in her lawyer's office that she realized. She never read her marriage contract carefully. So, ask yourself, do you really know what your marriage contract is doing to your future? In this video, we discover how a simple signature on your marriage contract can bind you to unthinkable legal and financial obligations. You might think it's just a piece of paper, but it could change your entire life. Watch to find out the shocking truths about what you're really signing, and how it could put you in a situation you never expected. If you think you know it all, think again.
Implied conditions in a marriage contract are one of the most important parts of any marriage because they can protect your rights in future and help define your responsibilities when problems arise. These terms make sure if a conflict or crisis happens, neither partner can take unfair advantage of the other due to confusion or lack of clarity. Especially in situations like divorce, separation, or financial issues, these conditions can legally clarify important decisions may deeply affect our life. As a trick, make sure to make arrangements for some topics before marriage. In some countries, divorce is limited or will have a lot of effects on one parties. Freedom in divorce with same responsibility can be very helpful. This condition prevents parties from feeling that they have no control or imprisoned in this area. Another matter, our property. Make arrangements for financial matters during our marriage or even after separation so you are not bound by a law that applies to everyone but unfair to you. Residence requirement. If one of the parties has job or obligations that require relocation or relocation causes problems in marriage, it should be clear. Childbearing requirement. This may seem complicated, but in some cultures or specific circumstances, it may be important to decide whether to have children and how many children to have. Alimony and support provisions. If one party's financially dependent, provisions for alimony or support are included. These provisions can ensure financial rights. Pet custody, you should decide who will own pets they have had during their marriage. These laws are due to the restrictions that law has. With its own discretion, it is a series of general rules for everyone, while you may have conditions that the general law is not fair. Implied terms of contract must be completely transparent and not contrary to the law or public order of society. 3. Also for being legal. It should be shown that both parties have agreed freely and with full awareness and no pressure. Most of conditions are implemented unless its performance is really contrary to interests of community. For example, in the UK, the terms of contract, especially for people with many assets, are usually used to prevent legal problems. In Canada, assets and right to custody of child can be included in contracts, but they must be consistent with the rights of family and child's rights. If divorced, any small legal mistake can change your financial life, your child's future, and even your social identity in case of divorce. About property, in most countries, courts act in two ways. In case of community property, everything is divided equally and an equitable distribution. Assets will be divided fairly, not necessarily equal. If one has no job but involved in home, become more assets. Alimony may be temporary, permanently, or until the other party is remarried. Remember, alimony is a court decision, not a contract. Child custody courts decide who can provide a safer environment and more time for a child. Behavioral records, occupational stability, and even the place to live are examined. Every country specifies an age for a child decides to be with another is just right to meet. What do not sacrifice? Consult a lawyer before marriage. Research on the laws of the state or country, because the differences are sharp. About the kids, I can't give any tricks. If you have a child, our focus should be the interest of the child, not revenge. This legal complexity increases when you marry a foreigner. Behavioral records, occupational stability, and even the place to live are examined. Every country specifies an age for a child decides to be with another is just right to meet. What do not sacrifice? Consult a lawyer before marriage. Research on the laws of the state or country because the differences are sharp. About the kids, I can't give any tricks. If you have a child, our focus should be the interest of the child, not revenge. This legal complexity increases when you marry a foreigner. Here's some of our question in our contact email 1. Can implied terms of contract added or changed after marriage? Answer: yes, it's need to be formal, bilateral secondary contract that often must be recorded. It's called postnuptial agreement. Although informal changes are not legally binding in many countries, even if they are exchanged in the form of a text message or email between spouses. 2. Is the contract void if one of the spouses didn't understand language of contract when it was signed? Answer: if one party can't prove signing contract or truly understanding, court may find it invalid or voidable. In cross-border or multilingual marriages, official and certified translation is a vital requirement. 3. If place of registration of marriage is different from place of residence of couple, which law applies? Answer: international law states that the place where the contract was concluded is the place of jurisdiction for a lawsuit. But ultimately, it's up to the judge to determine which law is applicable. Remember, no formal contract, but living together is a marriage and considers all responsibilities for you. 3 vital principles in marriage contract. 1. Offer request for marriage like any agreements do. Acceptance by other party. 3. Mutual consent. In the absence of any of the principles, contract may be legally invalid or terminated. The validity of marriage varies in different legal systems. This was first episode of our family law series. In next episode, we'll talk more about law and tricks you should be aware of.
You can watch our Family Laws playlist in our channel to empower yourself and know your rights. Subscribe to our channel for more legal insights and tips on protecting your rights. Share this video with your friends and family to spread awareness. Let's empower each other to make informed decisions.